Okay, we're back in live again. And we keep continuing here on the left angle cross of the Wishins for the 5152 profile. The left angle cross of the wishes. There are only two kinds of them. There are the wishes out of the three that says, may there be, please be order. And there it is. It's here some greater law for all of us. Consistency, the 5-1, the disciplined and natural conservatism to avoid unnecessary change. The conservative awareness that basic principles should not be abandoned casually when effectively stimulated through the drive to rebel against basic principles. All right, we have a Saturnian potential heresy, and we got a Martian heresy, and this is about when continuity has brought success. It should not be tampered with. But remember something, this is a blue line. Don't interpret this as something that you have at the beginning. You don't. So what happened to these beings is that because of the transference, they will follow the second line phenomena. In other words, what they're going to deal with is that they're going to begin with seeing the power of maintaining the conservative principles. Now, they may not see those principles that they have been altered by the fourth line right angle process, but it's not to say that they're born heretical, that they're born to go against the role. Now, particularly in the 4-1, because you're dealing with this unconscious that is going to explore things, going to investigate it, that the inherent compatibility of the 5 can be satisfied by basic principles. But here is the criteria. When continuity, if continuity has brought success, in other words, only when you actually get to see that the basic principles that you have been raised to have brought success for you, only then would you stay with them, and only then. So one of the things about heresy here is that the 5-1, that the moment they see the basic principles are not correct, that is the moment when they take on the role as a heretic. That's when they go out and they say, I wish I had a better way. I know what you're dreaming. Remember that the fifth line is the plane where we are now. The way we law is expressed now is a collective process. This is where we are now, trying to remain consistent in basic principles with all the variations around them. We're already beginning to see that certain ways and laws for society being greater success than others. And it's only when the laws prove not to be successful that we have those who rise up and say, this law needs to be eliminated or changed. What we have now is that we have the goal at the very beginning of the hexagram. Remember that the law, that the 1 and the 5 have a profound relationship to each other. This the 1 is the foundation, the 5 is the hope for the future. It's the hope of what the hexagram can be in its evolutionary process. The refinement of the 1 is what you see, is that this is a heresy of refinements. In other words, constantly trying to eliminate those laws that are not universal principles, and hopefully getting to a place where we have universal laws. I'm a carrier as a 5-1 clarion of universal law. That's right, of course. I call it the human design system. It's a universal law. This is the kind of things where you say, all right, let us see what the true law is. And all of the true spirituality that has arisen over the last 150 years has been the search for the law. Crowley's book of the law, all these principles, theosophical structure that they way in which mysticism evolved in the 20th century, universal principles. The same thing is the true for the scientific community. The same process is taking place. Laws are being checked to see if they are truly correct, and this is successful, and this can be relied on so that we have a structure that really works. My philosophy is that there's only one law, and it's our your law. It can be anything else. One law, your law. The teaching ultimately of the 5-1 is that the ultimate universal principle is that each of us is unique, and that being unique, each of us are doing our own authorities, and therefore we are law unto ourselves. The 5-2 perversity is something that haunts the 5 always. What I mean by that is where the 5-1 is paranoid about what people want, the 5-2 is simply paranoid that people are even there because they don't like being seen through that second unconsciousness. They don't like the feeling of being visible for the other anytime that the other wants. Most of the not self through our 5-2 will simply accept the laws as they are, and any law that needs to be broken, they will break it privately. There's a basic conservation that the 5 that can see here. There has to be. It's like being a general. You cannot be an avant-garde general. It doesn't work. There are certain basic principles that have to be there. You can have nuances, but one of the things to see about heresy is that heresy only works where there are basic principles involved that are not violated. Not that all heresy is simply an evolution based on a solid foundation over the various steps that have taken place in the structure. So, good luck with your heresy. You are a heretic, so bring it out.